Hey guys, Philip Nelson here with a secret special edition of the Philip Nelson podcast. As many of you know, I haven't launched the podcast yet, but I keep going live with very cool things. And I have something very, very cool to announce to you guys and a very special guest. I'd like to introduce Dolya Gavanski, who actually played Zarya in Overwatch, and she's here live with me right now. Dolya, really nice to talk to you.
No, thank you. Nice to. Thank you for having me there. Yeah.
So the reason she's on with me is because we're doing something really cool at the comic book store this Saturday from 4 to 6. Dolya will actually be in San Antonio, and she's going to do an autograph signing at the comic shop from 4 to 6 p.m. So we've got some housekeeping done. So Dolya, tell me a little bit about how you got into doing voice acting and the video games industry.
Well, it all started a kind of in a very sort of traditional way. I trained to be an actor. I trained in London. It's a classical training, lots of voice work, lots of Shakespeare and Chekhov and all the kind of traditional theater, I suppose, work. And then, got an agent and you go for parts. And one of those parts was Zarya in Overwatch. And before Zarya, I've done other games, but it never had the impact of Overwatch or Zarya, nor was I aware that there is such a huge community. So, I came and I read her biography, and then they told me I got the part, and then we've been doing over the sort of a course of a year. And I remember just before the game came out, Andrea Toyas, who is a wonderful voice director, she came to London and she worked a lot with us because, when you do those voice lines, well, at least in my case, you have the UK team and then you have the US team, they're all listening in. So she came in and she said, "You have no idea what this is. You'll see in a week's time." And it was very interesting because suddenly like my Twitter exploded. So
So,
yeah, that's how I got into it. Yeah.
so how, as an actress, you're trained classically as an actress. How much more difficult is it to do voice acting for a video game than being on stage or actually, interacting with somebody there on film set or on stage?
Oh, but it's interesting you said that, but because yes, of course, on stage or on film, you interact with other actors, and I think with voice acting, a lot of it is kind of left to your imagination, and then there is another sort of a great freedom one gets with voice acting because you don't have to worry about audiences, you don't have to worry about how you look on camera, you can just sort of fly and be anywhere you want to, and so there is a great freedom with that because you just perform and act, but it also, it comes from also very kind of intimate and personal space as well, because voice is such a personal thing. So even though, let's say for Zarya, I put on a particular accent or for some other parts, it's still kind of your interpretation of something. So yeah, different genres have different things. But yes, with voice acting, you're very much within your own space, I guess. Although you have a wonderful team around you that leads you.
Well, what was it, like you said, when you got the gig, you really didn't know the impact that that character would have on adults and kids all over the world because Overwatch is a legendary game. Um, was there anything as you were reading through your lines for that character that you were surprised about, or that were like, oh, I love this, I'm so excited, or I'd like a little behind the scenes of
Yeah, of
when you
course.
started reading your lines, what was going through your mind?
Well, at the beginning, I first I read her biography, and that's how I kind of got the part. And I suppose I got it partly because I've managed to convey a certain humanity with Zarya, because she's unusually, let's say, looking, and I didn't even know how she looks to start off. And most of the lines at the beginning were very much about her strength. Together we are strong, and I'm the strongest woman in the world, and all of that. But I think gradually over time, she a little humor or cheekiness was introduced, and I would like to think, oh, maybe because of me as well, because obviously you do certain lines, and the character develops across time, and I think the line which when I got it, which I kind of didn't fall off my chair, because you're standing when you're doing it. Well, I am, at least, especially the strongest woman in the world. You have to be firmly on the ground. That I want to hug you like a big fuzzy Siberian bear. So when I got that line, I thought this is the best line ever, and it's a sort of a line that you kind of go, oh God, when I wouldn't really get the chance to play such a character on stage or on screen, but with video games, as I said, you can hug big Siberian bears.
It's not often that you get a line, I want to hug you like a big Siberian bear. I mean, that's once in a lifetime chance.
Definitely. And there are other fun, lines, like, it's only a game. Why do you have to be mad? I think very much poking at the player as well. You are in the character, but you're also sort of teasing the player, not just being, I guess, a character who's in the game. But, the kind of an attitude of, get down, give me 20, I'm here, I can sort of, everyone is like at my fingertip. It's wonderful.
What was, you had mentioned that when the game came out, your Twitter blew up. You got, everybody's like, who is this voice? We're going to follow her immediately. Were there any interesting comments you got from fans that kind of stuck with you after the game was released?
Yeah. I think for me, the big thing was, I think one of the first couple of days when the game came out, I suddenly got a tweet saying, "Oh, Dolly, you probably get this a lot, but I wrote a song for you." I was like, "No, I don't get this a lot." And there was a whole song, and actually a very beautiful song about, like, with my voice and Zarya's biography and a lovely melody, and it's also kind of, my voice was part of a beautiful song. I mean, it had a bit of a rap, I think, feeling to it, but it was amazing. It was amazing, and it kind of, it's one of those things that kind of stayed with me, and I like to kind of have it in the background occasionally to kind of know is that.
Do you say you still play the song every now and then?
I don't play the song. I don't kind of go, oh my God, I have to listen to myself.
I know, but it's so cool.
But occasionally I remember it, and I know the tune, and I remember showing it to my friends and going, oh my God, look at this. Yeah.
So before Overwatch, did you have any idea of how passionate the fans that play these games are, and how deep they dive, like the guy that wrote the song for your character? That's the cool thing about the gaming community in general, is it's a community, and did you have any idea that you were getting into this world, or did you just think, oh, this is a gig, I'll do it, and then now you're a legendary voice in a legendary game?
No, to start off, I thought it was just a gig, and it was a great gig because they kept on calling me back. So we all want to live with our characters as much as possible and develop them. But no, I haven't had a clue about how big this community is, and what an impact characters can have on people. And I think I was deeply moved to see that. The first Comic-Con I went to, I was really, really surprised, and over the time I kind of became more and more interested in why is it so powerful? Why is it why are people moved by it so much? Obviously, and I discovered over time that gaming can have a huge impact on people's lives. I think it's a kind of an art form, probably more powerful than anything else nowadays. I don't know. What do you think? Would you agree with me?
I would agree 100%. It's funny. My background, I worked in television. Also, I did 3D animation software. The company I worked with, we did animation software for games. And the way games have started to develop are that it's really like writing your own film and directing your own movie. And now a lot, certain games are more shooter action, and then there's storylines that go in them. And then there's other games that are, a choose your own adventure. But it really is, you can, create your own world and you build friends. People have friends from all over the world that they've never met in person, but they probably talk to them more than the people that they live in the same town with.
But it's true. And what I also find very endearing, and over time I got used to it and I love it, is that the moment you sort of meet some gamers or Overwatch gamers, kind of there is, and I'm also part of the Overwatch family. There is immediate a certain understanding. There is almost kind of, we know each other. And it's wonderful because you can go to, all sorts of parts on this planet or in the world, and you meet your kind in some way, which is a whole, I guess it's like, I don't know, maybe back then it was you listen to punk music or rock music. Nowadays it's more you play a certain game, isn't it? It's a kind of a movement within the kind of different
It is
games.
it is so exciting. And I heard a rumor, you haven't done a lot of signings in the US, have you?
No, I've only been to a few Comic Cons, and yes, and then the COVID hit and so on. So I'm very excited to be coming to San Antonio.
Yeah, I know we like we were talking before the interview began, this came together very quickly. So that's why we weren't able to give people more notice. But we want to get the word out. We want to get all the Overwatch teams in San Antonio and Austin. We want to get anybody that's a fan of Epic video games to come out and meet you. And I know you're going to be signing autographs, and meeting and greeting all the fans at
I
Nelco
would love.
Comics. Yeah, so I have
Yes.
a comic shop in San Antonio, and I'm a super nerd. So I was like, yes, we have to do this. We'll make it happen. And
Well,
so
thank you
we're
because
so
it's
excited you're in
wonderful.
town.
Yeah. No, I'm excited too because I didn't expect it and then suddenly it came and I thought this is perfect and I'd love to meet my Overwatch community there
So
and the gamers in general.
so segue just a little bit. So what is actually bringing you to San Antonio? Because I know you're not just flying to come sign at my comic book store. What is the real reason you're in San Antonio, Texas?
Well, you see what Zarya did to me, what a character can do to a person. I came into the world of gaming quite ignorant about the impact it can have. And over time, going to Comic Cons and meeting people and speaking online, doing various events, I've became more and more interested and embroiled into the gaming world. So now I'm doing a documentary about it, and one of my protagonists is a gamer, and she's from San Antonio, so that's what's bringing me there.
Is
So
there
you
a
see,
chance? Is there a chance she's going to come with you to the signing, or is it top secret who your
oh, no,
star
no,
of your show is?
I can bring her. I can bring her. We'll see. But maybe, yeah, when we come to the signing, then I'll reveal her.
Oh, so if you come to the signing this Saturday at Nelco Comics from 4 to 6 p.m., you may get a sneak peek of the secret protagonist in Dolya's new film. So that's pretty exciting.
It is,
But
and well, it's exciting also to meet, you know, everyone else as well, and and especially if they don't mind being filmed, because with documentaries, we film a lot. What we, what it ends up in the movie, we'll see in the end. But you might end up in the film too if you want to.
so all these gamers are like, this is my big break. I'm going to be famous. Well, I am so excited that you're going to be in San Antonio. Will you have items for people to sign, or do they need to bring their own items?
Well, I have various posters, but people can bring their own items as well, and maybe in the shop you have things.
I only have 6 things.
Only 6 things.
Only
What?
6 things. I have 6 of the Funko Pops, but that's it. Those are very hard to get. The Zarya Funkos have actually been vaulted, so you can't buy them new anymore. And so I just called in a favor, and somebody I knew had 6, and I just paid retail. But I was like, you know what, it'd be kind of fun to have these here, and
I
so
love it. It's so cute. I hope they make a new one.
they will. They always bring back a new design. So,
Yeah.
but the one that's currently out there is actually, so for what I've heard, has been vaulted. So
Mm.
that means the only ones you can get are the ones that are out on the market right now. But they definitely have to bring back another one. And Overwatch is a legendary game, so more is coming. They got to.
And yes, let's hope so. And also, yeah, I have special graphic, special posters of Zarya and her usual as well. So I can bring all of that.
So I have one more question, because I know you've been shooting all day for your film, and I'm here in Las Vegas. Believe it or not, I'm in the magician Chris Angel's little apartment at his magic studio,
That's so
doing
interesting.
this interview.
Magic, games, acting, it's all
I know
connected.
it's just cool, interesting things. But we're shooting a show in about an hour with, believe it or not, Mike Tyson, the boxer,
Oh,
and also one of the
And
guys from
that
the
is a
Beastie Boys.
weightlifter. Sorry.
Yes, dude. Yes. I wonder if she could take Mike Tyson. She has heavier weapons.
Or maybe I can say hello to my guys.
Yes. But
No.
I did want to ask you one more question. So when the game came out,
Mhm.
what was the reaction from your friends and family? And did you go say, "Hey guys, let's play this game, and here's my character"? So when that game came out, what was it like for you with the friends and family?
I think yeah, it's interesting. I think the friends and family, I think they were kind of discovering the world with me, sort of. But I think one of the things at the time I was uh, working. I remember I was doing a film as well. I was working on some exhibition in London. It's going to be within a sort of art world, and everyone was kind of getting very surprised about, I think, my social media getting quite hiked up. Yeah, yeah, but Zarya is kind of almost with my family become my little alter ego. Oh yeah, you and Zarya again. Oh, you and Zarya.
If you're traveling, they just put a picture of Zarya at the
Oh,
table when you're out of town.
sorry, what did you say?
I said when you're traveling, they just take a picture of Zarya and put it at the table so that they
No,
can pretend
they
like you're
all
there.
have Zarya's Funko Pop near
Do they
them.
really?
My family, yeah, it's become part. It's become part of me in some ways. Yeah.
That is so exciting. So I really appreciate you taking some time to talk to us. I know you've been very, very busy filming for your movie and your documentary. But I will reiterate. So this Saturday, December the 2nd, Saturday, December the 2nd, from 4 to 6 p.m. in San Antonio, Texas, at Nelco Comics, which is at 1134 North Flores Street, which is near downtown in the Five Points area. Dolya will be there signing and maybe giving some cool information for fans of her upcoming documentary. You're going to go ahead and build your fan base before it's even come out.
And chatting to you, I'd love to meet. I'd love to meet. I'd love to meet people. I'd love to hear their stories. I'm interested in people.
And
Yeah.
you're going to have cameras rolling there, aren't you?
Yes, a very
Okay.
very small group. A very small
Okay.
group. It
But
won't
that's
be until.
great. So if
And
you
if somebody
come to
doesn't
this,
want to be filmed, they can say, "I don't want to be filmed." It's okay. We won't film them. Yeah.
okay. But if you want to be famous, then show up Saturday, and you could be like an Overwatch background legend of Dolya's new documentary. Well, I am so excited that you're coming to San Antonio, and we cannot wait to meet you in person. And we hope that we can get the word out to the gaming community and the nerd culture and geek community, and we all just have to converge on Nelco Comics next Saturday. And we are so excited that you're coming to see us.
Me too. Me too. Well, looking forward to it. Yeah.
All right. Well, have a great night, and we will get this video out ASAP, and we will see you on Saturday. Have safe travels to the U.S.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. All the best.
Thank you, Dolya.
Bye bye.